Get a second pair of eyes on it.
All right. Well, we're working through technical difficulties now.
Oh, there it
Well,
is.
we interrupt this program.
We're gonna figure this out. I need to figure out why it's doing the black screen here when we switch over. So let me double check here.
7.21.
Do you have the cameras underneath your?
No, it's the same way we've had it set up the last 2 sessions, so it should not be blacking out. Because if I tab back over to Discord, it comes back and we're good to go.
Yeah.
We'll be editing this part out of the live broadcast at some point, everybody.
Uh-huh. You messed something up.
Something got messed up. I'm gonna do one more thing here and double check here because we've got.
Make sure all your camera feeds are on the right level. I don't know.
Go back over to Fantasy Grounds. Properties.
Don't forget to hit that like button.
Yeah, we're getting there. I'm gonna change something over here real quick and see if this does anything.
Treat your toaster, huh? I beat my toaster every day of the week. How about that?
Discord.
Saw your screen share thing come up.
So hopefully in a week or two, it'll be warm enough for me to open this door next to me and I can have my pipe with your cigar.
Or
you
just go get your pipe. You can have
Just-
a nice smoke effect.
Oh man, it would be my camera quality would go down quick in this. It's a little room.
Yeah, I could
It's
see that.
maybe 2.5 by 3.5 feet.
You can hear the echo in the room there.
Can you hear the echo?
A little bit.
That's 600K in Southern California, right there. That little bungalow you got going, 2.5 by 3.5.
It's actually the entryway to my house.
Right. Just talking about property
Yep.
prices, but yeah.
You know, watch Futurama.
Oh yeah.
It's been a while.
Wouldn't that be like Bender's room? And then he's got the doorway to the closet, and it's actually the big actual room.
Yeah, but there would be like a keg over in this corner and probably a half deactivated stripper robot in this corner, some stuff that Bender's got.
Oh, I've got that
He's a
over
man
here.
of style. His smoking jacket would be hanging over the deactivated robot.
I may have found a workaround for the moment. Instead of expanding Fantasy Grounds to be full screen, I've made it a smaller screen and I've just manually dragged it to be open.
You drugged it.
I think it looks
Drugged it?
okay now. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, thanks for hanging out with us as we dealt with a little bit of the technical difficulties of getting this up and going. But there it blacked out again. What the heck is going on, everybody?
Blacked out temporarily.
Yeah, I am genuinely confused by what is causing this because we've done this 2 sessions now.
Well, not only that, but you've done it with the D&D sessions too.
Yeah,
So.
we did it with all of our sessions.
Blacked out again.
I'm telling you, I screwed something up when I was trying to set up this crazy background thing. You were walking me through it, and it must have messed up something on your end too.
I don't see why your thing would mess up his thing.
It probably wouldn't, but if you roll high enough in your unluck or your jinx skill, you could probably set it up that way.
All right, well, we're just going to deal with the flickering and see what happens as we go through it because honestly, I have no workaround for this at the moment.
What is it that you think is flickering, by the way, on the live?
Every time I switch over to Fantasy Grounds to be in the window, it kills all the cameras from Discord.
I haven't
Oh,
seen
yeah,
any
they're close.
flicker.
Well,
They're
not
close.
flickering. Like on I'm watching Streamlabs. All of the places where I have your guys where I have our faces set up goes black as if there's.
Yep.
So Mujine's seen it on the live stream, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what the issue is, and I don't know what is causing that. It's some sort of a thing where when I flicker over. Let me double
The
check.
thing that comes to my mind is something got changed in your scene and your cameras are getting buried or something.
Yeah, and there's a. This is the one.
Did you mistreat your toaster recently?
I may have.
Says Brave Steel Dragon. It's actually worth looking into. Toasters can be a little sensitive about that kind of thing.
Did you ever play Fallout New Vegas?
I did not.
It's funny that you should ask. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
first mistreated toasters in Fallout New Vegas. So,
No,
rather
there's
toasters that mistreat everyone else. So
there was an add-on for New Vegas. What was it called? Big Mountain, and then there was a Psycho Toaster in there.
right, Old World Blues.
Oh, World Blues. There you go. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's a big Fallout house here. So
Yeah.
I'm
I watched somebody who did all the recordings for that and played. What was his name? The Toaster.
I don't remember the toaster's name offhand. I just remember that that's one of the many comic reliefs of Big Mountain.
The whole thing was comic relief.
Well, it had the voice actor for the Venture Brothers too was one of the main scientists, and that immediately made me spit melt through my nose when I first heard it.
I think the guy that played the voice of Stewie was the voice of your brain.
Yeah. He's just called Toaster.
Just called Toaster.
Yep. He's the automated personality at
Now your things are up.
It's all fucked up, guys. I don't know what's going on. So here's what I'm gonna do. I really don't want to take up more time because this should not be happening, and it's really unfortunate that this is happening during our first stream. So I'm going to try one more thing here as we get going. So bear with me here. I'm gonna put this on a different screen, a different monitor.
Yep, cam stream problems.
And we're gonna hopefully this will resolve it. I don't know if it will resolve it. We're gonna find out if it's gonna resolve it. Let me pull Streamlabs over to here, and this will all get edited out later. I promise. It'll have to. Okay.
You guys saw it here first.
All right, so I'm in Fantasy Grounds on the second monitor, which is not where I want it, and it's working fine. Like, this is really frustrating to me how it's working on the second monitor, but not on the main monitor. Whatevs. So I think technically, maybe theoretically, it's working now, but it's in reverse. So I'm gonna have fun playing.
Deciphering.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to be looking over here on the monitor for what we're playing tonight. So it'll work. It'll be what it is. So building cam stream problems, sort of.
You'll be
Yeah,
all
it's
right.
just
You have
building
charisma.
Charisma. All right.
Charisma.
So let me do a. Let me go back over here. I'm double checking that everything's working the way it needs to. Let's go ahead and double check. Move these things around. That all looks good. All right. I'm going to do a countdown now because then I'll give myself a timer stamp to go from. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the first officially plagued session of our Starfinder actual play series, where we had some technical difficulties going into the first session, which we didn't have during our session 0, 1, and 2. So I don't know what's going on. We'll hopefully get it sorted out long term. But I think I've finally got it working, so we're going to be getting going here. Welcome, everyone. if you are tuning in for the first time as we play. This is the first time for all of us with Starfinder. We have been doing a little bit of research here and there. Actually, I don't know. Lysander, is this your first time with Starfinder, or was it just?
It is. I've
Okay.
played Pathfinder, but I haven't played Starfinder.
Okay,
Not
perfect.
other than what we've done. So.
Okay. So this spun out after I started doing the Discovering Starfinder video series a couple months back, and said, you know, I actually like this enough to want to get into it. And then some people expressed some interest in doing it with me, so I said, what the hell, let's give it a shot. And we're going to try to be doing these on Wednesday nights, bearing, you know, technical difficulties or things like last week when my power went out because I live in the boonies and that happens sometimes. So one way or another, we will try to be here either live or as a premiere. So if we have to record these offline, we will. But we are going to be doing a Starfinder actual play series, going through the first official Starfinder module, which is called Incident at Absalom Station. And this is I think, as I understand it, the very first official Starfinder module that they ever released way back in the day when this first came out, because it's been out for 5-6 years now, I think. A while now, and they're really deep into the adventure paths, but we figured it would be a cool place to start with the number one, because A, all of us are new to Starfinder, and B, it's a great way to just dive into the very beginning, and if we like it and if things go good, we can continue on from here. We have had a couple of session zeros, which we have done on Wednesday nights, which is why I was very flustered the first 15 minutes of this episode, because we didn't have these technical difficulties the last couple episodes, so I'm not quite sure what's up with that. Hopefully we'll get that sorted out sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, we have already gone through and done the character creation for our characters. So if you haven't already watched those episodes, we've produced the session 0 and the session like 0.5 editions here on YouTube. There's also the very first 3-hour session that we did is up for members if you want to take a look at that, which is when we actually sat down and worked through the bulk of the character creation. Then last week we got together before my power outage and we fleshed out a little bit of the skills, got those done, and then tonight we're actually sinking our teeth into the first official session of the adventure, which is actually arriving at Absalom Station and playing through the core adventure. So we have our player characters here. Let me lean over here and get this open so we can see the character window. We have Chen, who is playing a Shirin operative. We have Lysander, who's playing a Lashunta mystic, and Maverick, who is playing a human soldier. Get these windows moved over like so. I'm gonna go ahead and move this down real quick, guys, so I can see it on the macro window. There we go. That's better. So for the purpose of this adventure, the module suggests that everyone is, let me see here, some sort of prospective applicant for the Starfinder Society, and that's why you've chosen to come to the space station for the first time. Absalom Station being the headquarters of all things related to the Pact Worlds. This is the giant space station that counts as the administrative and cultural center of the Pact Worlds and the system's primary home for humanity. You don't know each other, but you are on a shuttle that is coming in to the docks. Now, all of you have made arrangements to meet a dwarven starfinder named Duravor Creel in Docking Bay 94, and he's promised to show you guys around the station, help you get settled, facilitate your membership into the Starfinder Society. You are on the shuttle Okimoro, which is arriving now at Absalom Station to Docking Bay 94. And as you guys are arriving with anybody else that is in the cargo bay, if you happen to notice each other, this would be a good time to do your introductions to each other if you do. But if you don't, it's all good. And we're going to get a map.
I think I picked up something on that shuttle. Goodness. I hope the station's cleaner. Where's that dwarf?
The air filtration system doesn't work that well sometimes in these older transports. Get a little dusty, a little bit of alien funk in your lungs. You never know what you might pick up at the outer rim.
I've heard so many good things about the station. Oh, it'll pass. It'll pass.
You can always buy yourself a face diaper if you're worried about it.
Face diaper.
It's true. True, but I'm a little low on coin at the moment. But hopefully, the Pathfinder Society, the Starfinder Society, will get us through.
All right, as the ship lands, we're going to get a map opened here for you guys. You should see this opening up on your guys' screens. So the shuttle has just landed at Docking Bay 94, which is one of the scores of docking bays occupying the star-like arms that encircle Absalom Station's equator. Docking procedures take a few minutes. You've got the normal clink clank of things connecting, disconnecting, at which point the cabin attendant welcomes you to Absalom Station, and you can disembark onto the floor of Docking Bay 94. From here, I just put this into the chat window for you all to read. The brightly lit docks of Absalom Station are abuzz with activity as travelers bustle by preparing to board or disembarking from starships bound to or from any of the dozens of worlds. Brash and swaggering star pilots, scurrying Isoki mechanics, and expectant colonists mingle with the enigmatic Kasatha mystics, hard-faced asteroid miners, imposing Vesk mercenaries, and more, creating a microcosm of abundance and variety of life in the packed worlds. New arrivals meet friends, loved ones, or business contacts and are whisked away into the humming activity of daily life on the vast space station. Beyond them, ground crews tend to the docked ships, and dock workers and mechanized cargo lifters load and unload freight and baggage. A sharp tang of ozone hangs in the air, a byproduct of electrical discharges from the docked ships. But underneath, the station's atmosphere has a slightly used aroma. The docking bay's deck plates thrum beneath your feet, though whether it's from the passage of innumerable feet or the vibrations of the station's power conduits and air recycling systems is impossible to say. All right. Your contact, Dorval Creel, is awaiting your arrival in the docking bay. You can actually see him waving as you guys disembark. As you are disembarking, everybody roll perception checks, please. If you remember how to do that, that's over on your. Well, you guys already got it. You're covered.
Apparently, I did it twice.
Do we have to go to our skills?
Yeah,
and
it's under
then
your
roll
skills tab.
perception?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for those of you who are watching, by the way, we've done a couple of sessions of Fantasy Grounds trial errors. I've used Fantasy Grounds in the past for 5th edition stuff, but I'm new to doing it with the Starfinder. So there are some quirks here. We'll be working through it as we all get accustomed to it. But we have had a couple of quick sessions, but we're going to be working through it tonight. But that's on your skills tab, correct?
Huh. Where do I get the dice from?
I gotta get off this shuttle, man. These lizard men, they smell bad.
You rolled a 14. Rolled a 15. You should just be able to double click it, Mav.
Maybe single, because when I double clicked
it did it
actually
double.
rolled twice.
Are you on your skills tab?
Yeah.
Actually, I rolled it from the front page, but
Just where your total roll is, just drag that over.
Total roll.
Yeah, on the far right where it says, where it says perception, then on the far right, you could double click that or just drag it into the dice tray on the far left. There you go. All right, you rolled.
Wow, I did great.
All right, we have a 21, a 14, and an 8. All right, Lysander and Chin, as you disembark, you notice that there are two groups of people on the fringes of the docking bay, furtively taking up defensive position among stacks of cargo crates and machinery. No one else seems to notice this. And as the dwarf that you're supposed to meet, as Creel raises a hand and gives you a friendly smile, before you can return the greeting, the air is suddenly filled with blaster fire as these two groups begin to fire on each other. Bystanders scream and flee in terror, diving for cover or milling about frantically. Creel, meanwhile, freezes, paralyzed for some odd reason. We're going to go from here. So I've got to spawn an encounter for y'all. So we're going to get some combat
So these
right
are-
off the bat.
We noticed two groups firing on each other.
Yeah, as you guys are coming out of the landing bay onto the platform, and the dwarfs in front of you going, "Hey guys, what's up?" You rolled perception checks, and you noticed two groups of people taking cover at either end of the docking bay. And then as you're coming out and the dwarfs waving to you, they start firing at each other. Meanwhile, the dwarfs like, "Ah!" as all the bystanders are starting to run and panic and try to get out of the crossfire here. All right,
Cool.
so let me go ahead
I'll
and
stay.
get that closed down. We need to get these visible on the map here. And get the combat tracker up here. Let's see here. All right, so from here you guys will need to go ahead and roll your initiative. If you remember how to do that, great. If not, let me know. But it's on your main page. There's an init button. You just double click that and it'll roll your initiative and get you on the...
Main page. Perceptive but slow in the uptake, I guess.
Nope. Nope.
All right, so this is where you guys are at on the landing platform. You should be able to see. You might have some line of sight issues, but you'll be able to see some of these guys behind the various crates and stuff as you're getting going here.
I don't think I did that right.
Okay, this first round, everybody's going to be able to act other than. Let's see here. I need to double check the rolls. Yeah, Maverick, you did not make your perception roll, so you won't get an attack round this round because you were kind of surprised by everything that's going on, whereas Lysander and Chin happen to notice all the action that's going on. So they'll get an attack this round. We'll go through the whole rotation, and then we'll get into Maverick's turn next.
What's going on, guys?
Blaster
So-
fire! Pew, pew, pew!
The gang members at the bottom of the screen towards us are firing at the ones towards
Yeah,
the top.
the
Or
ones
is it left to
it's
right?
the ones on the right are firing towards the ones on the left. Is how that's
Gotcha.
working.
So we're in the crossfire, basically.
Essentially, you guys are right in the middle of the crossfire. So yeah.
And where's the dwarf? Because I don't see him at all.
Well,
on
the
our-
dwarf, as all this went down, he paralyzed and froze in fear. And as all of this gets going, he's taking a blaster shot straight to the chest and keels over with a gurgle onto
Oh,
the
no.
floor.
Well,
In
there
front
goes
of
our
you.
contact.
I was about to ask how many bulks he was.
And then,
Who wants to carry the corpse?
Chen, you are up. It is your turn.
I'm gonna run for the nearest point of cover.
Okay. So you've moved. You can still take an action if you prefer. Or if you just want to like go into cover and I'm not sure. That's one thing I have to look up is how the cover rules work here. But yeah,
Yeah,
'Cause I don't think
I
there's
don't
any
know
cover there.
about like an Overwatch position, but I'm not gonna do anything unless somebody shoots at me.
Okay.
So I'm just heading this way.
You're heading that way, trying to find cover because right now you're still in the middle of the open. You moved your maximum, and it's time to make sure that you don't get hit. All right, let me look here. Okay. All right.
And
So
each of these squares is 5 feet, right?
correct. It's 5 feet.
Okay.
You know, when you drag your character, it tells you how much it's moving, which is really nice.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna have. I'm gonna expand my map here a little bit.
I don't know if I can ready that action, but I will shoot at whoever shoots at me.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how ready actions work here. I know how it works in the 5th edition. So
It's similar. I looked some of it up today.
okay. So you can ready a ready to action like a cantrip or something. So if someone attacks you, you can attack back. Or is it if they move into range?
Yeah.
It's if they move into range. Well, technically they're in range. So all right. Let's see here. Outside King 1. Out of curiosity, all of you roll a d6, please. A 1d6.
1d6.
You rolled a 5. You rolled a 4. And a 6. You guys are good. You're in the clear. All right. That's a hit. Okay.
So are they shooting at each other?
Right now they're shooting at each other. Okay.
That's some epic level damage there.
Ooh, a nat 20.
Ooh.
All right, everybody roll a 6 again, please.
From one extreme to the other.
All right. This guy. Where is he at here? That's crew member 1. Is going to randomly fire at Lysander. That is a hit.
Before I even had a chance to take my action, though. Okay.
You're getting caught in crossfire here, so it's pew pew.
Good old crossfire.
All right, next up we've got crew member 2.
Is that a game you played as a kid, Crossfire?
That's a hit. Wow.
I was a rotten kid, so I'm pretty sure everybody else was in the crossfire of the rubber band guns, and
Everybody else is there. Everybody else is in the crossfire. All right.
serves me right, I guess. It's coming back around again.
3 and number 3. That's a hit. Okay. Lysander, you're up.
Well, I'm going to move to that position.
Okay. Looks like some
because
crates.
it's within range for me to do so, and duck down for my second action, I'm actually going to spend one of my level 1 spells, which is reflecting armor, with a couple of mumbled words and a passing of my hand in front of me. I've sheathed myself now in a mystical force that reflects damage back on my foes.
Cool. So to do this, it should work like it does for the D&D stuff, but since we've done a little bit of testing in the before, but you would need to target yourself and then go into the spells and cast that on yourself. Theoretically, it should work.
Right. Theoretically, I'm making sure I'm
Yeah.
targeted here.
Control click to target yourself, and then it'll show up in the combat tracker if you are.
Control click. Okay, it looks like I'm targeted. And then I'm going to just basically click this icon, right?
Are you
Nope,
targeted?
that's how you read it.
There you go. I
Control
targeted.
click.
There it goes. Do it again, because I accidentally did it and then it unselected. There you go.
All right, cool. And then I just have to basically double click the spell name.
Which one are you doing? Reflective armor?
Reflective armor, yeah.
Well, if you click that magnifying glass to the right of reflecting armor. It'll bring up all of the rolls below it. Excuse me.
Gotcha.
And I think you just click cast. I think.
Cast. 1 force, 2 force, 10 force.
I'm assuming, yeah. Does it tell you what force it needs to be?
It doesn't say at all.
You create a shimmering skin-like coating, a mystical force that covers your body.
I think that's based on our level. Didn't we figure that out last time?
I think we did. I think we did. So it's gonna be just the 1 force one.
I clicked on the 1 force one and it said Lysander absorb SP1.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. We'll figure out how
We
this
can
works.
roll an inexperienced adventurer, so maybe I fumbled the spell a little bit, you know.
Okay. All right, so that's what you've done. Maverick, you were surprised, so you're skipping this round, and we're back to Chin. Okay, you're going to move up.
I'm gonna move.
Oops.
Oh.
Hey, you're
And-
self-targeted.
So they fired on one of us already, right?
Well, the crossfire, I don't know if that's the thing. Did he actually fire on Lysander, or was that just crossfire? Like, that's remains to be seen.
Okay, I will ready in action and fire on anybody who fires on me.
Okay. So essentially what's happening at this point is it's just laser blasts going everywhere. And you haven't necessarily been noticed that you're aware of quite yet. So you're hunkered down, you've made it to the crates. You're like keeping an eye out. As somebody shoots at me, I will shoot back scenario. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next actor and we will just repeat this process here. It's a hit. Okay. Everybody roll a 6 again, please. Ooh, this is fun. Okay, so this is the second guy right over here. Gotta pull him up. It's this one right here. So he's gonna unselect. And he's going to select Chin. So you're gonna take a... Alright, he fired at you and missed. Now you had readied an action to fire back, correct?
Yes.
So does that happen now? That's one of the things I would assume that happens now as a reaction, correct? Since you readied it.
It does, and then it changes my initiative now to below that guy.
So you would come after him in the next round?
Yes.
All right, well, we'll have to manually adjust that. So in the meantime, go ahead and manually target. It's the downside king number 2. If you can see that, he's directly northeast of you behind the crates. I don't know if you can actually see him. If you want me to manually target him for you, I can. Here, I'll target him for you so that you can see which guy fired at you.
2? Yeah, I can see that guy.
Okay, yeah. So that's the one who fired it. His laser blast came at you.
Oh no, I need to do something different here, huh?
Yeah.
That just seems intentionally aggressive.
You'll need to go to your let me open up your... Oops, that's the wrong character sheet. It's in your actions.
Oh yes.
And
Sorry.
you would, if you're using like your pulsecaster pistol, you would double tack where it says the +4. Just like double click that.
Yeah.
So that is a hit. Now you would roll your damage. Okay, so he took that hit. And you said you're going to move below him. So what I probably need to do here is say 25.
I already moved.
In terms of, no, I meant initiative-wise, because you had
Oh
said
yes,
you
yeah.
had said
I
you
go
moved.
after him now. Yep.
Okay, well, we'll have to remember that because I have to put you at 24, as opposed to, but you're not. Can I manually drag you down? I don't know how to manually drag you, so we'll just have to remember that you came after the downside 2 guy. All right. Meanwhile, this guy, because Maverick also rolled a 1, this guy is gonna end up taking a shot. Level crew 1. That's
So I don't see when you say this guy. I don't see which guy you're targeting.
in terms of who you
Who
were
should-
targeting.
No, you. When you said this guy's gonna take a shot.
Oh, I haven't gotten to that part yet. I'm talking out loud. Hang on. Absalom Station gang member. So level 21 crew number 1, which is way up in the top left. Previously shot at Lysander. And now he is going to untarget Lysander and target Maverick, because Maverick's getting a random laser blast. That's a hit.
Dick.
Pew!
You're right. Untargeting and targeting implies some forethought, not randomness. But
Well, you can
I'm
blame that
thinking
on your
these
DM.
guys are in big trouble.
You can blame that one on your game master for having to manually do those things. All right, so that guy's actually taking damage over time from one of these pistol blasts because he took a critical hit, and so there's a burn effect on that from the critical hit. So every turn he's taking another few points of
Good.
damage. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's a real
All right, that is also
piece
a
of
hit.
work.
All right, Lysander, you're up.
So the one that just took the shot at Maverick is gang member 2 on the right, upper
No,
right?
it would be level 21 crew member number 1, all the way north of you, like due
All
north.
the way north. Yeah.
I don't see that guy.
Seems like some distance there for that particular one.
Oh, because of line of sight, you don't see him. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you might not
And
be able to fire back at him if you don't have line of sight.
I definitely have line of sight, and I'm actually going to take a shot at him.
What a nice guy.
Let's assume that I can reach that far, and we'll
Well,
see if
and
it lets me.
yeah, make sure you untarget yourself first, though, because that way you don't accidentally do
Yep.
damage to yourself.
And all right, gear, pistol.
Yeah, don't worry about range.
I'm trying to figure out how to take the shot. It's not off of gear, I don't think.
No, it's off of your on
abilities?
the actions page, the actions tab.
Actions. That makes sense. Okay.
You just drag from your attack.
Voila. That is a miss.
There's a definite miss.
Maverick, you're up.
So I can move and
Yes.
attack, or just
Yep.
one or the other?
You can do both.
Okay. How do
I think technically too, if you have everything in range, I believe you can do what's called a full attack, which is where you choose not to move, and you can do 2 attacks. I believe is how that works. And I think at higher levels you can actually do triple attacks and stuff. I think that's one of the things where I'm not quite a pro at Starfinder yet.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do. No. There we go. Do that. Move that way. Is it coming through?
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at something else on my screen real quick. You're good?
Oh, how the hell? How am I supposed to target again?
You can you've got him targeted right now. You control click
Wow.
And on
You
the
should have an arrow pointed to him as well.
and also if you have your combat tracker open, which is that window with the two swords at the top right, if you have that open, you can actually see the target. Lysander just targeted a whole bunch. You can actually see the targets that you have selected in the combat tracker window. Underneath your name, it'll say targets. And right now you have Absalom Station member number 1 from the level 21 crew targeted. Plus you'll get the
That's-
arrow.
Okay. Well, let's try this. Boop.
That is a hit. And you did 1. It was a muted blast that came from your laser pistol, like rifle. It kind of went a little and kind of arced and
That's a good shot.
Gotta warm up.
Gotta warm that shot up. Do.
All right. You are now below the second guy. Let's not forget that Chin, because you're going to be after the number 2 guy. So that's a hit. Okay, that guy is dead. Gang member level 3. Where's he at? He's off the map now because he's toast. Okay,
That's
next
not
up is everybody roll a 6 again, please. Just don't roll ones.
How about
No
that?
ones.
I like ones. Ones are good.
Roll a 6 there, Chin, please.
Oh, I did.
Didn't show up.
I did again.
Oh, is it not showing up in the tray? Oh, there it goes. Delayed reaction.
It's a little laggy.
I had my combat thing up for some reason, but when I closed that, it showed up.
That's odd. Yeah, it quirks. All right. Oh, hang on. Never mind. He killed the guy. That's why we're doing that. It's actually not Chin's turn quite yet. I'll come back to you in a minute, Chin.
Yep.
Good thing these are against the other guys and not you. That's another dead dude. Okay. Now
It's
this
just a
guy
splat on our
goes.
screen now.
This guy, where is he? Let's have him attack this one. It's a hit. Okay. All right, now it would be Chin's turn.
I don't see anybody. So
You don't have line of sight, at least for the
move
top
right
gang member?
there. No, I don't see anybody.
Really?
I guess I don't do anything.
Okay, because I can see that you've actually got 2 targets targeted with Chin. To the right of you. Well, now you have 1 targeted. It looks like actually. You've got Downside King number 2 and Downside King number 3. Can you not see them on the map?
No, they are not on my map.
That's odd. Because I'm.
Oh, okay. I just had to scroll out a bit.
Okay, gotcha. Because technically you could see both those guys, and you could pick one if you wanted
No, that was my fault.
to. User error. Hey, that's kind of like me for the first 20 minutes of this stream. I still don't know what went wrong, and I'm telling you, my eyes are killing me right now. I'm trying to squint at my second monitor.
Shoot. Okay, I gotta go to attack.
And make sure you unselect one of those guys because you have both of them selected right now.
What? But I didn't even see him before this.
Magic missile, magic missile.
How do you know I have? How do I know I have stuff selected?
So there's two ways. One would be if you look at your combat tracker, you would see underneath your name your targets, but also on the map you'll see the red arrow going to whatever targets you have selected and a distance meter that would show you, oh, it's this far. Like I can click on your guy right now and it shows me if I hover over your icon, if I hover over your token, it shows me that you have 75 feet to the target and you have him targeted behind whatever crate he's hunkered down behind.
Oh, see, I don't see that.
That's weird.
Because I have my guy targeted still, and it says 115, like right in the middle, which is I guess the feet, which implies I have a really killer reflex sight on that pistol to be able to even take that shot. But I'll go with it. I'm surprised that you can't.
Technically, we should probably look at what the distances are for those pistols and everything else, but I wasn't too worried about it for the first fight. I was like, pew,
Would the system let us take the shot or do any
that's a
damage?
good question.
Because I would think it would automatically take that into account and diminish the damage or not let you take the shot at all.
By the way, I canceled that move, Chin, because you were like, I want to move up here and move over here, and that was a 100-feet move.
I was gonna say, how do I even bring up that map again?
Oh, you need the map? Okay, hang on. This is the quirkiness of Fantasy Grounds.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I'm not seeing the distance thing.
Yeah, I don't either. What do we gotta turn on?
That's weird, because I see
Did
it.
you control click one of the enemies?
Yeah, he's got. Well, now he has a whole bunch of things selected.
Oh, I don't.
Here, I'm gonna do some stuff for you here real quick. Give me a second here. I'm gonna manually do some stuff for you. We're gonna
Magic is happening.
We're gonna untarget that. We're gonna untarget that. We're gonna untarget that. We're gonna untarget that. All right, you have no targets selected right now. So control click on whatever target it is that you want to attack. There you go. You don't see a red arrow to that target?
That changed nothing on my screen.
Okay. I wonder why. Well, in any case, you have him targeted. There may be some quirks.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I don't. Okay, that's just a roll. I need to.
It would have been a really good hit roll.
It would have been. You go to your actions
been.
tab.
Yeah, that's right.
While he's rolling, everybody, this is the perfect chance to say like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. We're going to try to do this every Wednesday night. Also, if you want to support, super chat, super thanks, memberships, all are great ways. That's a hit. You roll your damage, sir.
Notice it didn't track my shot, but I manually clicked it in.
Okay, so that was that, and then we go straight to this guy down here, who's going to roll a 6, everybody, real quick.
There's a 1 and a 1.
Oh, so okay, we're gonna get some.
Our sixes are terrible.
We're gonna get some crossfire here. That is a hit on Maverick. Okay, it's absorbed. I also need to go ahead and do one on Chin. So that's that guy right there.
Don't worry, guys. If you go down, I have a spell that allows me to force you to tell me whatever you know. Wait, that's not going to help.
All right, I'm going to do a little flavor roll here. He rolled a critical miss. So I'm going to roll a 1d6 to see whether or not he accidentally hits his friend with crossfire. If I roll a 5 or a 6, he'll hit his friend with the crossfire. No joy. All right, Lysander, you're up.
All right. Back over to my actions tab. I still have this gentleman targeted up here. And since my range seems to be good and true, I'm going to go ahead and make another attack. I don't know why it rolled twice.
I don't know either. But you'll probably need to roll again until you get a hit, because it's gonna count the miss if you try to roll your damage. You may have a double clicker like I have, because my mouse loves to double click and I need to just throw the damn thing out, but it's a expensive mouse that I'm gonna get every last little click out of this damn thing.
Okay, so you.
Or I could just manually apply the damage. Just roll for damage and I'll manually apply it. Oh, it did it anyway, so I wasn't sure if it was going to track it because it was tracking it as a miss. So we're good.
Okay.
All right, Maverick, you're up.
Now I see. Now I see something. Let's see. Let's go about here. Ish. There. Got my move there, buddy?
Yep.
Let's see.
That is a hit.
Of course
Roll
it's
some
a hit.
damage.
There. How about that?
Oh
That's
yeah,
better.
that took him out. You hear a muffled scream, "Ah!" and then nothing. All right.
It's not tracking my shots though.
In terms of your ammo,
Yes.
it should. Wonder why it's not doing that.
Oh, I'll manually click it for now.
Is it checking yours on Lysander and Chen?
Yeah, I have 2 gone, so
Okay.
I'm assuming that yes, because I cleared them before we started. So.
Okay, perfect. That is a.
Maybe it's because I
Oops.
cleared it as we started. I don't know.
Gotcha. I forgot to select the target with this guy. That's number 3. Where is he at on the map? Downside, downside, downside. Oh, the only ones that left are the downside. So I need to pay attention to this. I'm on the small laptop monitor since I'm having all the bugs, and so I wasn't reading properly because I have to lean over and look at this.
I think the upside guys are both splat.
So we've wiped out with the last one that just went down with Maverick shot. The one side of the docking bay has been cleared. As this happens, the guys on the right hand side are immediately going to pick up and run for the hills, so to speak. They are going to boogie out, leaving you in the midst of a docking bay that's now full of, laser blasts and scorched smoke and people hiding in the corners and the fringes, and there in the middle, a dead dwarf who was your contact. Or at least you assume he's dead. He let up a horrific scream when that chest blast hit him. And as this is happening, station security comes flooding into the docking bay. Emergency medical services following a few minutes later, and they're running up, blasters and rifles at the ready. They see you with weapons drawn. Freeze! Freeze! What's going on here?
So the dwarf was not on the ship with us?
No, he was on the landing bay platform.
Okay,
You guys came in. He was down
okay.
at the end of the ramp, waving at you, "Hey guys!" and then took a shot to the face and to the chest, not to the face, but
Didn't end well for him.
So yeah, you're being told, "Drop your weapons! Drop your weapons! No blasters! No blasters!"
Okay, I guess this is where we I'm going to set my rifle down at my feet and do as I say. For now.
Chen and Lysander, you guys also
Absolutely comply.
okay?
Yeah. If they ran off and security is here, I will comply.
Yeah, they ran off. Security's here. Immediately, the security are running up to you, checking you over, weapons pointed at you. As this is going on, though, we get some witnesses that are coming in from the sidelines going, they weren't part of the group. They're fine. They're fine. They actually helped defend against the attackers. So as the witnesses step forward and agree that you guys didn't start the fight and you weren't a part of it, you're free to go. You're free to go. Meanwhile, emergency medics are administering first aid. Are any of you injured, by the way? I think Maverick took some stamina points, but I don't think he actually took any
I took
damage.
some stamina, but no actual damage.
Okay.
I don't know. It said absorb, so I don't know what that means.
It just means you absorb the damage. You didn't actually take any damage.
Oh, my fatigue is red. Showing as 8 or something like that. Red. I guess that means I took some.
Can I get to the dwarf?
Yeah, you can totally get to the dwarf.
Will they allow me to approach him?
Oh yeah, they're worried about witnesses right now. They're worried about people who got caught in the crossfire. You can absolutely approach the dwarf.
Honestly, I'm guessing it's clear that he's dead.
There's
no one to stabilize.
He's definitely dead.
All right, I'm gonna touch my fingers to his forehead and say, "I'm sorry, my friend," and cast my cantrip Grave Words, which can't get him to talk or answer questions, but apparently there's like a 10% chance that he'll have some information very briefly that he'll pass on to me that might be useful to us.
Is it,
according to the thing here? So.
Is it? I want to read this now because I'm very curious. Is it going to be mental or is he going to whisper it out of his lips? I need to know more.
Yeah, it's under the necromancy school.
Okay.
So I'm guessing it's him actually whispering, although it could go either way. I'm a psyker kind of character.
You can force a touched corpse to talk to you, but you can't ask it specific questions or communicate with it. The corpse utters random sentences for one round with a 10% chance this information is of some use to you. Okay. That's okay. This is interesting.
I like that.
Yeah, hold up. Let me is this the
I want you to save all of your spells per day for that spell.
Is that 7? Did you roll a 7?
I rolled a 7, so
that is. Oh, is it the 10% or are you looking for the 90 plus?
You would need 90. You would need the 90 plus.
It's a little switcheroo.
So he's muttering random words that make no sense. Pickles, lollipops, mommy. It's like 1 minute of rambling stuff, but nothing really pops out at you.
Okay. I'll make sure his eyes are shut and stand back up.
Okay.
Is there anybody else hanging around? Like, was the dwarf with anybody?
No, he was just by himself. It's just him. Roll a perception really quick, Lysander, as you stand up. Roll a perception check real quick.
You got it.
As you stand up, you notice that his personal computer disk pad is right next to his body.
I'm going to go ahead and surreptitiously pick that up.
Okay. You want to take a look at it?
As I rise, pick it up. Not if the station security are still milling about. I don't want to be too obvious about it, but if they aren't, then yeah, I'll take a look.
No, they're busy paying attention to the people.
For sure. Then I'll take a glance at it and see if
it's got the names and descriptions of Yiru and these other 2 individuals who are on the landing pad with you. This Shirin and this human.
So I'm guessing he was here to meet the 3 of us. Should I delete his browser history? After all, it's what a friend would do.
It's the friendly thing to do. There's also mention of another additional name. I gotta go in and look at this. Chiscus, and there's an address there.
Chiscus.
Yeah. Roll a culture check.
You got it. I actually have just a little bit of culture, at least on this character. So
better than I have, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
So while he's doing this, can I approach Tim too.
Sure.
Okay.
You recognize that name as a high-ranking Starfinder member on Absalom Station, and the
And does that
address.
address?
Yeah, the address is Lorespire Complex, which is the Starfinder Society's headquarters on the station. So
Okay.
this little computer pad has got your guys' faces, names, information, and then the name and information of one Chiscus and the actual Starfinder
Right.
headquarters.
I'm guessing he was going to facilitate that handshake between Chiscus and the three of us. So now we know where to go.
All right.
Good news. Not for the dwarf, but for us. He was here to meet all three of us, and our contact is named Chiscus and is on the spire.
Oh, okay.
How do we find the spire?
We'll have to wander around, I guess.
Never been here. You got an address?
I do have an address,
All right.
so
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we'll be able to figure it out once we get our bearings after we leave this docking ring.
Well, as you
Maybe we
guys are
could ask-
here, go ahead, Maverick.
Maybe we could ask a security guard if they're not too busy where this might be.
What are you guys looking for?
Starfinder Society, the spire.
Oh, the Lorespire complex. Yeah, check out one of the kiosks over there, and he's going to point over to the edge of the landing pad where there's some information kiosks lined up.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Okay. So you guys are going to check that out. It will have an actual physical address for you in order to find, but it is well known as you go in there and look at the kiosk, all the information on the Starfinder Society's there, and the location of the Lorespire complex. Now, what I don't know as a game master is this a 45-minute trek to get there? Is there a train? Is there a tram? Like, I don't know enough about Absalom Station yet to know how do you actually traverse the station. That's something I haven't actually thought about or looked up, and there doesn't appear to be any information. So I'm going to look this up really
Let's
quick.
go there.
It appears huge. I know that much. So
2 hours of wandering around and getting shot at by random gang members, right?
Consumer shuttle would have brought us
welcome
close
to the neighborhood.
I'm genuinely curious now.
Maybe there's only one docking bay, and
Yeah, I wouldn't trust the shuttle to bring you unless it took us directly to the spire's docking ring, which I think it has. Let me see.
Yeah, there's a Reddit thread that says
I don't have the module, but I do have Pack World, so I can kind of look at the map of the station.
Yeah, that's interesting. The Reddit says that transport on it says like this person literally says I couldn't find anything in the core rulebook or Pack World's book about the methods of transportation on Absalom Station. So I improvised some stuff about elevators, but I have no idea how people travel to different floors or across the huge arms. Does anyone know if there's anything in canon or how people get on the station? It says here the elevators are canon. Vehicles also exist. You could call a taxi, a bus, a train. Probably there's metros, I'm assuming, subways, so on and so forth. So that might be just one of those ones that we could just kind of make up and be like, yeah, that's how they get around. Is you guys could call a cab or something of that nature, and we could just. Brave Steel is saying you can assume taxis and metros are a thing, so that totally makes sense. Thanks for that, Brave Star, by the way. Oh, by the way, chat, I wasn't paying attention to that. Two Slugger says Starfinder dope. Thank you. It's a lot of fun so far from what we've been seeing. Nutromancer, by the way, I didn't catch this until just now. He said the webcam of the person that looks like the space station seems fine because that's a stationary piece of art. So every time I tab away it kills everybody else's cameras. That stays up.
It's the only one that stays up. Yeah,
that's awesome. We're gonna have to troubleshoot that one after we wrap up tonight because I'd love to know what caused that. The only thing I did different was
good catch though, Nutromancer.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, let's assume that you catch a taxi. The three of you, you're on your way to the Lorespire complex to report in, because that's what you were coming here anyway, was to meet the dwarf, and he was going to introduce you to the society, and hopefully you were going to be able to get involved as members of said society.
Absolutely. So we'll get an Uber and head for the Lore Spire.
Absalom Uber. The Lore Spire complex is located in Absalom Station's Ring Sector. It is a campus with multiple buildings and rooms. So as you arrive, you see quite a big complex as you arrive. Excuse me. As you get to the main building, you disembark from your Uber, you make your way up through the steps to the main door, and you are greeted by a receptionist who's sitting at the front desk as you come in. Can I help you?
Yes, Mr. Chiscus, please.
Chiscus. Do you have an appointment?
Well, that's an interesting way to. I suppose we do. Although we would have arrived with another member of the society. However, there was trouble in the docking ring.
Okay. One moment,
Do
please.
we know the dwarf's name?
You do know the dwarf's name.
I'll rattle it off.
Yeah,
I
Duravor Creel was the dwarf's name.
Mr. Creel.
Mr. Creel, sir. Duravor Creel. So you're letting her know you were supposed to come in with Duravor Creel. I'm going to roll really quick. I'm going to roll a flavor roll and see if she knows who he is. 1, 2, 3, she knows who he is. 4, 5, 6, she doesn't. She's not familiar with the name, but no worries. If you could just wait over here in this waiting room, I will let Mr. Chiscus know that you have arrived.
Thank you.
You guys go over to the waiting room. You sit down. Perhaps 20 minutes go by, and a functionary arrives to lead you off. If you'll follow me this way, please, sirs. And you are eventually going to make your way to a cluttered but clean office deep in the complex. And waiting in this office is a Sheeran. Now, if you did any of you, by the way, did Lysander, did you share the information on that computer pad with Maverick and Chin, or is that something that you had only looked at yourself?
Well, no, I
Maybe on the
pointed
ride.
out that he had been here to meet all of us on the ride and shared what I had found on his pad. I probably would even allow them to look at it.
All
Why
right,
not?
shared it
It's
on the
not
Uber
mine.
ride over.
Yeah.
So all of you
Yeah.
recognize this was the individual that was in the pad. This Sheeran is Chiscus. And he is a member of the Starfinder Society's elected leadership council. Seated behind a polished and unadorned plastic desk, he's wearing understated business clothes and is nervously flexing his antennae from side to side. I should say their antennae from side to side. A Sheeran expression of perplexity, although would all of you know that? Obviously, Chin would know that. Maverick and Lysander, would that be a culture roll? That's a good question. I'm going to go look at skills really quick.
I know that La Junta had been at war with a insectoid species. I'm not sure if that's the Sheeran though, so it probably would be a culture roll more than anything
You're a
else.
student of
It,
Vassum.
it's
Yep.
not, but we are we do not like each other very well.
Both of you roll culture rolls just for the hell of it. Let's see if you understand, because that was something that literally says in the book. It's perplexity. I'm like, maybe would you really know that though? A 15, Lysander, you would know it with a 15 for sure.
Yeah, especially coming from people that have had some bad blood in the past with the Sheerans. So
Maverick has no clue. But Lysander knows, and Chin, it's another Sheeran, so it's you're just kind of chuckling to yourself because he's sitting behind his desk like, what is going on here? Welcome to the office. I need to read something really quick because I remember something from earlier. So actually, as you all enter, Chiscus is going to speak to you telepathically. So his voice is going to be in your mind as opposed to speaking out loud. Welcome. Would you like some refreshments? Water. We have water and processed protein wafers here. He kind of
Perfect.
waves at the desk in front of him.
I'll telepathically tell him that water will be fine.
Water will be fine. All right, perfect. What can I help you with today?
Chin, would you like to take the lead as Mr. Chiscus is a member of your species?
Are
That
we
might.
still talking telepathically?
I am still to you directly because I can do that kind of casually, surface thoughts. I nudge you to take the lead.
You know what? I don't know if Maverick can or not. So
He's just stoically
so I
standing
will
there.
just say, we have arrived to join the Starfinders Society.
There was mention of Keel. Where is he? Where's the dwarf?
Unfortunately, there was an
We-
incident in the landing ring, and he was killed.
I'm sorry that I cannot welcome you to Absalom Station under better circumstances. I assure you that such attacks are not a daily occurrence, though I realize that is likely a small comfort to you. I am pleased that none of you were seriously hurt, but I grieve for Duravo's death. He was a valued member of the society and a friend. May the Lady of Graves be kind in her judgment of his soul. Sharon bows their head momentarily, then looks up, their compound eyes glittering. What puzzles me is the reason behind the attack. He taps a few commands into the computer. According to the incident report just released by Stationary Security, 2 gangs were involved in the attack. The Downside Kings and the Level 21 crew. Gang wars are not uncommon on the station, but they usually confine themselves to the more lawless sectors like the puddles. It is rare for street gangs to battle openly in the public areas like the docks. I cannot help but wonder whether all is as it seems. There must be a reason why these gangs were at the docking bay 94 at that time, the time of your arrival, coincidentally. But was it coincidence? Were you and Duravo just innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire, or might you and he have been specifically targeted? And if so, why? My
Those are all
understanding.
great questions.
Yeah. My understanding is that you are interested in becoming Starfinders, yes? And since you were witnesses to the attack, I would like to ask you to investigate the incident on behalf of the Society. Find out exactly what happened and why. It may be simply a matter of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I have no doubt station security will rule it so, but if Duravo was murdered, I would like to find justice for my friend, and at the same time this will give you the opportunity to demonstrate your own skills and abilities and show the Society that you're worthy of the title Starfinder. Yes? Yes? Good luck. Yes? I gotta do chittering sounds for the antenna, man. And like the cockroaches, there's gotta be like some chittering creepiness going on.
So did I actually hear any of this?
Yeah,
or-
you heard this. I mean, you might not
He's
be able to
speaking out loud.
answer telepathically, but you're able to hear it telepathically.
Oh, all that was telepathic. Okay.
Yeah, all that. It says here that he speaks telepathically in the PC's heads. So yeah, that was all telepathic.
Ah.
And the question is, can Maverick handle it, or is he like, get out of my head? It's the first time I've ever heard creepiness, creepy cockroach critter.
Is it normal for your species to talk without moving your lips?
Is it really? I don't know enough about the shearing because I haven't. That was not something I would have ever rolled myself. Is that something, Chen?
we don't have lips, but we can
Mouth
talk
parts?
verbally
Mouth parts?
very well.
So-
Robuscus?
So they'd have no lips, so they only speak telepathically?
No, we can speak though.
Okay.
Like
They have
yeah.
mouth parts.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I would
So-
imagine their language would probably be at least somewhat difficult for species that aren't, Sheeran to replicate. They would have different physiology, right? Like maybe not vocal cords, but something else. Clicks,
Well, the
clacks of the
mandibles,
antenna,
yeah.
and mandibles.
That is correct. That's why my name is Chen. That's not my real name.
Oh,
No.
That's
the
actually
plot
just the
thickens.
name I use that you guys can call me.
An approximation that you can share with others of not
Yes,
your kind, right?
Yeah, it's a yeah.
Part
it's
of your
just a
family
name
name would be
you guys can
pheromones.
pronounce that's easier to go by.
Very interesting.
I'll speak out loud for the benefit of Maverick, of course.
Okay.
I can't speak for my friends here, my new friends, but I, of course, would be most gratified to investigate this matter. I find it very unnerving.
Okay. Well, I thank you very much for your time. I don't have much more to offer you at this time. The street gangs are not my specialty, and my suspicion about Creel's death is just that. If you can find any proof, if it exists, I am going to provide you, though, with my personal comm code. You can call and report as necessary, but for the most part, you will be investigating on your own. As you see fit. I can, however, reward you with a small sum of credits, a signing bonus plus expenses. And this will help you get settled on the station before you start your investigations, if you have not yet found a place to stay. I would recommend the Moons of Sleep Hotel. It's just a short walk from the parks and Towers of the Eye, centrally located, both suites and efficiencies available. But of course, you could always choose to find your own discounted lodging as your own. By the way, the Moon also offers a discount lodging to Starfinder, so book rooms for at least a week's stay. No affiliation, of course, but so he's going to give you a couple hundred credits to get you guys going, and has given you a recommendation for a place to start. So let me go ahead. I can actually bring up party sheet.
One thing, Mr. Chiscus, before we go,
Mhm.
do you have someone on staff who is more familiar with the politics of your local street gangs that we might speak to as a starting point?
Oh man, that's going to be a good question that I don't have a direct answer to as a GM quite yet. Give me a second here, because that's I know
Or
there
as
are
a player, I'm sorry to ask
no
you a
no no no.
question.
It's
You
all
don't,
good.
yeah.
It's all good. It's all good because that's a fun one that I know later on, because I remember reading through this earlier today when I was getting prepped for everything. Later on, you can do some investigations, um, and I'm trying to find out where you went to find those investigations.
Do we know who these two rival gangs are?
Not yet. He gave you the names during the.
They were named, but yeah.
Yeah, if you look on the
Oh
left,
yeah,
if you look on the left-hand
yeah,
side, you might want to write those down because those are going to be part of the
yeah.
investigations
I'm
that
gonna
come
write
in
them.
later on.
Downside Kings.
Okay, so the best answer, I'm reading something very quickly here, Lysander. Um, the answer that I'm reading here says that a lot of this information can be found via the infosphere using a successful computer's check to access the unsecured public system. And then if you can't find anything from that point, there might be people. But since you asked that as an individual person, let me roll a d6 for that. And I'm just going to say, if I roll a 1 or a 2, yes, there's going to be somebody that you could talk to. Otherwise, he's just going to refer you to the computer systems.
Perfect.
Oops. No, I don't need all those die. I just need one die. Oh, you got fucking lucky. All right. I'm going to have to make an NPC up. So give me a second here. Let me do that after we do the loot, because you guys are supposed to get a signing bonus here. So I need to go over to the gear, pull this up as the signing bonus, and we'll apply this to the party. By the way, for those of you who are watching the stream, I apologize for dropping off of camera like this because of the technical difficulties we were having earlier. If you weren't aware of that, I had to put everything on my second monitor, which is the laptop monitor, and I'm having to like cram my head around my big monitor to take a look at the screen and see where everything's at. Hopefully we'll get this worked out for next time. All right.
Brave Steel Dragon is pointing out that it was the Formians that the Lushuntas had war with, so not the Shirans at all. Thank you
Okay.
for that, by the
He
way.
also
I
says,
knew it was...
yeah, Shirans can speak normally, but it's difficult to give proper inflection. Okay. Let's see here. So this should automatically give you guys some credits. Did it assign it to everyone accordingly?
It
No,
looks like it did.
No, it's supposed to be 200 credits to each of
Oh.
your accounts. So I need to do that 3 times, I think. Hang on. All right, there we go. That should have then. Yep, Now you guys have a couple
Yes.
hundred.
It made my credit number larger.
Yes, that's a good thing.
I always appreciate that. Yes, thank you.
There's also technically we can assign, and I hadn't decided on whether or not I was going to do this yet because I'm new to the Starfinder system. Technically, we can give experience points for the that was something we hadn't done yet. So we might do that at the end of the session off stream so that I don't screw it up because given all the other technical difficulties that happened tonight, I don't want to run any risks. I need a notebook since we're getting into.
I think this is a fantastic way to learn a new system, though.
Yeah, it is. It's
Get up on stage
hands-on.
and do the thing, right?
Well, screw it. Now you've made me do the thing. So let's go do the thing. Hold up. Where is XP? Let me go back really quick because it says here you get 600 XP for defeating one of the gangs. And you guys defeated I think it was the left-hand side, which was the 21 crew gang. Doesn't really
Correct.
matter.
We
So-
made good friends.
So how do I apply this? Question is, does it apply it to everybody? Or does it apply it to just one person?
Trying to see where the experience is at.
Oh, it divided it between you equally. So it gave you guys 200 XP per.
Where am
Okay.
I seeing this?
That's interesting. I wonder if XP is supposed to be divided between everybody or if you're supposed to get 600 experience. Because it didn't actually say. Excuse me.
Oh, there. I see.
So I think it just defines it between all of you. So it gave you guys each 200 experience points.
I would think that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got some experience points and you've got some coins from those encounters. Get you guys going here. So that's a nice way to.
So,
Start.
where do we find out how much is for next level? I must have missed something.
I would need to look that up. I don't know if it's like 1,000.
I have the PDF here. Let me look that
Okay.
part up.
While you look that up, I'm gonna tab out here and glance at something,
No
which
problem.
means we'll lose cameras for a second, everybody.
I think that'd be.
It is last a 20-sided night. Today we're going over what encounters like a DM makes a breakthrough with either.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna duck out really quick, guys. Take a quick bio, grab my notebook, and we'll be back.
Oh, good. I will too.
Bio.
Character. Okay.
Right, leveling up. Looks like we need 1,300 experience points to level up.
Where are you seeing that?
I did a quick Google check.
No.
So I'm in the archives of Nethys, which is kind of just semi-official, unofficial.
Doesn't say per class, or is it just?
It doesn't look like it's per class. It looks like it's according to Nethys, which is really, considered top notch for Pathfinder at least. It looks like it's just one table for character advancement.
Wonder why where it is in the PDF, because that would be nice to know.
Page 26 of the core rule booklet. So let me see if the PDF shows something similar.
It just talks about. That's looking at alignment.
Yeah, leveling up, page 26.
Am I looking at the right thing? Core rulebook PDF. 26. I'm seeing alignment on there.
Hmm.
Time. Or it might be outside. Let me see. Yeah, that's what it
Alignment seems to be on the page 25 at the very bottom. And then on the top of page 26 is where it talks about leveling up. If that
Yeah,
helps.
26 is the chart for experience per level.
Leveling up is showing. Yep. Okay, now I see it.
It says it normally. We normally level up at the end of a game session. So
Character advancement. I'm seeing it here. Second level looks like
Yeah,
1300.
I don't usually ever use experience points. I usually just go by usually in a mod. I don't know how this module works, so usually
like milestones.
Yeah, I usually use milestones. Like I know with the 5th edition stuff for D&D, it will tell you that you can do experience points, but it also will prompt you in the module when you get to a certain point. Like, and it does tell me here in the beginning that this section is for level 1 to 2. They need to be level 2 by this section, and then they need to be level 3 by this section. So I just wanted to check the experience points thing to see how that worked. But
Sure.
we'll apply the experience points. We'll see how that works as we go along. And if it doesn't get us to the point where we're
Where we need to be.
prompting us, yeah, we could just do a manual thing. Because that's also something that we haven't done yet is the actual leveling up process. We haven't tested that yet, and I don't know how it works because I know how it works with the 5th edition stuff, but I don't know how it works with the Starfinder stuff. So,
You mean inside the actual
inside the actual
PTT here? Yeah.
Right? Because it may just be we'll need to spend an offline session and just do what we did that one time where we had to manually tweak things.
Hopefully a bunch is automated.
Yeah. So you were looking. What did you say, Maverick?
I put the 1300 in the second box just to.
Oh, can you
have
guys
it there.
manually adjust it on your end for like what you need for your character?
That's what it.
Hang
I
on.
was able to put it in. I don't know if it's actually gonna track it, but I put it in.
Where did you put it at on your? Where's it at on your character sheet?
What the hell is this?
Or is it on
page?
the?
It's on the notes page where it tracks your name, gender, height, blah blah blah, home
Oh,
world, XP.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool.
XP / and then
Oh my god,
the 200 came in the first box, and the second box was.
I just read your bio. A mall cop with a dream of becoming a real mercenary. He spends most of his off time at the local gun club where he trains on the gun range with tactical range. Oh my god, that's amazing. His mall cop buddies have taken to calling him Maverick because he often gets his team to place in the top 3. That's cool though.
Nice, very nice.
Fucking mall cop, yeah, that's awesome. All right, so Lysander was after a contact within the Starfinder Society who might have more information on the Starfinder contact. I'm gonna write this down with more info on street gangs. Okay, we're looking for somebody.
I don't. We have to investigate her fatigue back, or is that just?
Yes, you will. So we'll need to. That's one of the reasons they were prompting you guys to find a place of accommodations. Yeah. So, as you asked the question, looking for someone, you rolled a 1, so I'm gonna give you somebody. You're looking for someone named Paten, Paten. He's on assignment right now, as Chiscus tells you. Paten is the man you're looking for. He's on assignment, but he might be back tomorrow if you would like to check back in. Otherwise, you could look up in the central computers and find some information the public information, of course, might be different than what Paten has, given that he is specialized in street gang activities.
Of course. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'll note Paten's name and contact infos.
Okay.
Or whatever I was given anyway.
Well, it seems that we've been forced to work together.
Was it forced? Or was
Well,
it destiny?
very, very true. The man has a point. It might be destiny. But 3 heads are better than 1. So I say we stick together.
well, let's find this hotel and we can see each other in the morning.
So you are looking for a place called the Moons of Sleep. Now, I don't know if it actually gives us a map for the Moons of Sleep, so let me double check here real quick.
I put a map, a large scale map of the station in the
It's in the Pact Worlds one,
4-man
right?
chat window. Yeah. But it doesn't, I don't see the moons on here, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, this is the very first map that comes up. So
Yeah, no worries. All right, so it looks like he mentioned this in his, because he told you that the Moons has a discounted lodging to Starfinders who book rooms. So if you book a room for at least a week's stay, it's going to be 16 credits per week for an efficiency room, or 50 credits per week for a small 2-bed suite. Otherwise, efficiencies are normally 3 per night. Sleep pods are 1 per night. Suites, one bedroom suites are 5 per night. And then they have 3-bedroom and 4-bedroom suites are 10 per night. So if you guys wanted to bunk together, you can get a 3-bedroom suite. Otherwise, you can all just get your individual suites. Or if somebody's going to be a budget traveler, they can go with a sleep pod, which has got to be super uncomfortable. But I'm not sure what you guys want to do here.
I think an efficiency more than meets my needs as a scholar. But if you want to stay together, a suite might work out for us.
I would rather be by myself. I'll go ahead and book a week.
I'll do the same.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys handle
Sounds good.
the economics of that on your own. It looks like if you're going to do a week's stay, it'll be 16 credits per week for an efficiency, or 50 credits per week for a 2-bedroom suite. So
I'm going to go ahead and assume it's paid up front and just deduct it from my total amount. Yeah.
That'd be a great way to do it, just to get it out of the equation.
16 for 1. Okay.
So
I haven't been able to edit anything on here today.
On your
what do you? Here we go. I got it.
All right. I'm good.
Yep. It's all right.
It's all good.
I think that's right. Okay. Doing math in my head.
Doing math. All right. As you guys get to your rooms, is there a description of this place actually on the internet? I'm going to go look this up really quick. It's called the Moons of Sleep Hotel. Very curious now. You said that there was nothing on the map.
Well, there wasn't on that one map from the beginning of the Pack Worlds section on Absalom. It was just a large scale map.
There's a wiki and all. It says the hotel in Absalom Station .clean. Oh, that's funny. So there doesn't appear to be anything. So okay, it's probably just a standard hotel. Nothing fancy about it. I was just genuinely curious if we had an actual description of it somewhere to refer to, but apparently not. All right, see you, Brave Steel. Thanks for hanging out for a bit. So you guys go and you get settled in, get your rooms and everything else. While you are there and getting settled in, I'm assuming. Well, maybe I should ask this question before we get going. How many of you are going straight to bed? Is anybody doing any social activities? Are you pretty bushwhacked from the night before? Or is it just you're going to get there, go to sleep, and get ready for the next morning so you can go meet this Patan fellow and start the investigations?
I have a routine. I'm a scholar and space elf to boot, so I think I'll be doing a little meditation to kind of center myself and prepare myself for my sleep cycle, and then the next day as it follows. So probably be up for a few hours at least before
Okay.
I go to bed.
All right. What about you, Maverick?
Probably clean my gun and then go to bed.
Okay, so you'll be up a little bit. Chen.
I'll probably go to sleep right away.
Okay. So let's do. I'm gonna cover some information that comes up on the Hollow, on the news as you guys are, as Lysander's meditating, Maverick's listening in. Chen's not gonna hear any of this because he goes straight to bed. But this is just information to have at your disposal, which can influence, or help you understand maybe what's going on around the space age. It's just news. I'm gonna read it off. And it's what your characters might know. So the first little bit Maverick would hear because he's going to stay up and clean his gun for a little bit, but then he's going to bed after that, so he wouldn't hear the rest of it, which is what Lysander will get tapped into. So let's just go through that first. The biggest piece of news that is on all of the airwaves as Maverick's cleaning his gun and Lysander is reading and meditating and stuff, and it's being discussed endlessly on all the different news feeds that are cropping up, is the arrival of a derelict ship called the Acreon a few days ago, and the whereabouts and fate of its missing crew and the nature of the mysterious drift rock the ship brought in with it. Rumors and speculation are rampant about this. Did the crew witness something significant? Were they killed to keep it a secret? Did the crew go mad and walked out of the airlocks? Does the drift rock contain precious riches, from minerals to advanced technology, or even the legendary treasures of lost Galarian preserved before the planet disappeared? That's the main piece of news that's just circulating like every 10 minutes across the news before you go to bed, Maverick. And that's at least a piece of peripheral information that you could have at your disposal if it comes up in conversation later. Lysander, as you continue to stay up and meditate and do your scholarly stuff, there are some other main topics of discussion. You've got something about a disagreement between Astral Extractions and the Hardscrabble Collective, both of whom are claiming ownership of said drift rock, as well as the right to examine the Acreon and determine the fate of its crew. So this is just stuff it's just typical reporter stuff.
Right.
Local parties are discussing a disagreement between Astral Extractions and the Hardscrabble Collective. Blah 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 blah. What's up, Nutrimancer?
Does there seem to be a consensus?
No,
Or
it's
do you
just
know?
depending on which news anchor you're listening to,
All
they're
right,
giving a
that's
slightly
fair.
different take on things.
Before I go to sleep, I want to.
Mhm.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say I want to make sure that I do kind of a quick scan of the available networks and channels, and just look for my own edification to see if there's any news at all about the ambush and the crossfire that happened in the spaceport, because I think that would tell me a lot about the level of lawlessness that we see in and around the station. As a scholar, I think I would probably be curious. If, in other words, if there's not any news about it, probably fairly common, But if it's clearly it's not top news, it's that's this Acreon derelict. So
Yeah, I'm generally curious about what role this would be. Hang on, I'm looking at something here. I know what role I would have it be if it was just a random thing, but I want to see what role they might consider this as.
yeah, like I said, it's not really important. It would generally just an idea that popped into my head for something that
Maybe
my character would do.
maybe do a perception roll. Just to like maybe that might be the quick stage. Just roll perception.
Yeah.
There is mention of an incident on the docking bay that you guys were at today. There's a brief little mention of that, and that it was, a couple of gangs were rumored to be involved, but it's just a little blip. It's not really anything that's making major news. It was just a one blip thing that you happen to catch. No names were mentioned or anything like that.
No profile and courage for our poor lost friend Durivor.
No, it's literally just an information about an attack on one of the docking bays.
Well, I'm not on Castroval anymore.
No, you are not, sir. All right. Something I'm reading through here, which may be something to pay attention to for all of us moving forward into the campaign. It says here that, for example, general information, when in doubt, like if you don't have an NPC to talk to, it says you can attempt culture checks. And, well, it says here computer checks on the Absalom Station's infosphere, which is the unsecured public system, to check general knowledge of things, as an FYI, assuming that you don't have an NPC that you can talk to directly. And from there, you'll have to make diplomacy checks for NPCs and culture checks or stuff. But I'm just reading. What's that?
Is that a Google check?
A Google check. How well did you do the Google search, sir? Did you put it in brackets or not? What were your search terms? How good are you at SEO? All right. So you go to sleep. That's the stuff that's on the news. Wake up the next morning. We should do an actual long rest to refresh everybody's stuff. I should clear the combat tracker as well. Delete all non-friendlies. And rest. And we're going to do an overnight rest, which should refresh your guys' stamina and everything else for your characters. Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. I'm just skipping ahead real quick to read a couple of things. Okay. All right, so the next day you are looking at trying to meet up with this individual. What did I write his name down as? Patton, back at the Starfinder Society. So you get up, you have breakfast, you make your way back to the Pathfinder Society, or excuse me, Pathfinder Society. It's the same thing. The Starfinder Society, and make your way to the receptionist and let her know that you're looking to meet with Patton. She checks into the computer. Looks like he's still about an hour out if you would like to take a seat and wait. He does know that you are coming, so he'll meet you when he gets here. About an hour goes by, and a small Isoki walks in, and she looks at the three of you, kind of squinting. What do you want? I heard you were looking for me. Can I do a
Yes,
Boston
if you
accent?
don't mind, I'd have a question or two about local gang culture, specifically the Downside Kings and the level 21 crew. What can you tell us?
Oh, you're looking into the activities, eh? Oh, you must be the group from the other day. You're the ones. I know what we're talking about now. I know where you're coming from. Okay, you guys were with Dorovo Keel, right? Did you know he owes me money? He owes me 50 credits from that game we played last 2 weeks ago. Did you guys get any coin from him, by the way?
He might get you that later.
Later, he's dead. How's he gonna get it to me?
Nice try, buddy.
Bluff score 0.
Bluff score 0. So what can I do for you?
No, I'm sorry to say we never even had a chance to speak with the man.
Okay. You're looking for information on the level 21 crew and the Downside Kings, are you?
Yeah.
All right, let me scroll ahead here. All right, so you're going to need to do a diplomacy check. And I'm not going to do it per, per person here. So let's just see what you roll. So you got a 20. So, here's some information that you can find out about these two groups. Let's see here. The Downside Kings at a level 20. You rolled a DC 20 plus 2. So, the Downside Kings are a brutal street gang that controls several decks of Absalom Station's lower levels, or the Downside, through a combination of intimidation and violence. By the way, I'm not doing this in her voice because that voice is not easy to do. Everyone can see it, Nutrimancer. It's not a big deal. We're just doing this for fun more than anything else. I'm sure if, but it's all good. They are known to engage in a wide variety of illegal activities, from extortion, fraud, robbery, smuggling, and theft, to drugs and arms trafficking, kidnapping, murder for hire, and trafficking in sentient species. In other words, they're a bad group of people. Bad group. Turnover among the Downside Kings leadership is high, but the gang's current boss is a barbarous human woman named Ferrani Nadez. Let me type this in here so you guys can... Ferrani Nadez is her name. She lets you know that Astral Extractions has recruited the Downside Kings to threaten the Hardscrabble Collective and pressure the miners into handing over the Acreon and the Drift Rock to the company without dispute.
Interesting.
The Downside Kings are known to use a nightclub called Fusion Queen as a front for their illegal activities.
Okay.
Now let's do another roll to see if she knows anything about the level 21 crew. There's a 14. The level 21 crew are a street game that claims, unsurprisingly, level 21 of Absalom Station's seedy lower decks as its territory. Their current known criminal endeavors include theft, fencing stolen goods, gambling, prostitution, racketeering, and smuggling. The level 21 crew may be a criminal gang, but they have a reputation in their territory and neighboring levels for promoting community empowerment, and many neighboring residents tolerate or tactically endorse their activities. The gang has also been known to hire itself out to defend marginalized and threatened groups or factions. A grizzled Yusoki called Jabaxa currently leads the level 21 crew. So Jabaxa. So the other one was a human, right? A human female?
Yeah. Human female.
Human woman named Ferrani Nadaz, and then a Yusoki called Jabaxa. So, between you and me, we're talking about the level 21 crew or the Downside Kings. The Downside Kings are definitely more the cutthroat variety. You don't want to be on their bad side. Obviously, you don't want to be on the bad side of the 21 crew either, but they're less likely to slit your throat if you owe them money, you know what I mean?
So can I telepathically ask her, so why would these two be fighting each other?
That's a good question. Let me see what it says here.
Well, from name alone, it sounds like the Downside Kings think they own the whole downside, whereas the level 21 crew is claiming level 21. Maybe it was a territory dispute. Or it may have
Well,
something
if
to
the
do with
one is
that
in
derelict.
charge of right, one is in charge of moving that derelict.
Hmm.
Why would the other crew be in want to conflict with them?
Go ahead and roll a diplomacy check, Jen.
Nice rolls.
So, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Why they'd be at each other's throat like this beyond the typical stuff. Because I don't know. I mean, as far as we know, looking at the Downside Kings being recruited to threaten the collective and pressure the miners into handing over the Acreon, that ship that came in. Yeah, you guys watch the news. You watch the news. You don't watch the news.
Watch the news for sure.
Okay.
Heard
Because
a
Chin
little bit
didn't watch
about.
the news last night, so he's probably going, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like the what's the Acreon and the Drift Rock?" So obviously this is whatever the Downside Kings are up to has to do with all the stuff that was on the news last night. That ship that came in and the Drift Rock. Um, that's what she knows about them. Now, because none of the roles didn't make the roles, that she doesn't have any information for you about what the 21 Kings, why they might have been on the docks at the same time. She's not got enough information available for you to talk about that.
It's a place to start. I thank you for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. That's what I'm here for. Is there anything else I can do for you? Okay, I would recommend as you guys get deeper into things, if you want to take a look, don't forget to investigate the Hard Scrabble Collective. I've been hearing rumors around the fence that they might be into something yet, but I haven't found enough information yet. So if you come up against anything, you let me know. Matter of fact, here's my contact information. I'm gonna give you my personal comm channel. You can get in touch with me if you find anything out, because I'd love to hear it.
Thank you, Patton. That was my next step, actually, and I definitely will let you know what we find out.
All right. Okay, so that's all that she's going to be able to get you for now, but it gives you a starting point. So um, from here, I mean, you've got access to the, what do they call it, the infosphere? Yeah, you've got access to the infosphere, um, and there's multiple points of interest. You could continue to look up astral extractions. You could look at the Hardscrabble Collective. You look at the Downside Kings, the level 21 crew. You could also check more up about Durable Keel if you wanted to find out more information if you can from the public information system.
Well, I think the first thing that I would like to do is see if I can run a search on the Hardscrabble Collective and uh, level 21 crew and see if there's any connection there at all, because obviously uh, the other gang seems to have some connection to astral extractions. I have a hunch that there might be some type of interaction between the collective and
Okay. It says here
the
first
21.
first you'll need to do a DC 10 on a computer's check to access the unsecured public system. I'm assuming that's just like a computer's check. Well, thankfully you passed that. You're good to go. And you need big rolls from here to get any serious information. So let's. Which one do you want to investigate first?
Well, I was going to do the way I had it planned was, kind of a Boolean search, Hardscrabble Collective and level 21 crew, and see
Well,
if there was any
let's.
connection.
Yeah, we probably need to do individual rolls to keep things simpler, because the only reason I say this is because the information sections on each one of these is broken down, and they
Gotcha.
have a ton of information in here, and I don't want to give it away too freely. So
Yeah, no, that's fair.
so let's look up the Hardscrabble Collective first and roll a, what is this going to be? Another computer check, essentially.
Ouch.
It's hard to find anything about the Hardscrabble Collective.
So,
They don't appear. Go ahead.
well, you can finish telling him about his result there,
Okay.
and then I'll ask my
All right.
question.
They don't appear to have any offices on the station, and the employment firm that handles contracts for them, at least according to the info station here, only states that the collective is not currently accepting any jobs. What was your question? Or what was your? Yeah.
Can I find out anything about this this Acrium, this ship that the Downside Kings were in charge of?
From what's available, you'll get the same stuff that was available in the news right now, so I can reread that to you real quick.
Okay,
there's a better section here, and I need to find it in the. Give me 2 seconds here, because there's a section of the module which has some information that I can have you roll for. And I gotta find it now. I might have it saved down here in the story section. That's not the right one. There is a section here. I need to find it real quick. Give me 2 seconds here. Okay. Go ahead and roll a computers check as well. I can tell you what was on the news last night, and then we'll see what your DC tells you. According to the news, a derelict ship arrived a few days ago called the Acreon. Its crew is missing, and there's just rumors rampant about where their crew went and the nature of this mysterious drift rock that the ship brought in with them. And you rolled a 15. Okay. We can do a little bit of information here. So a few weeks ago, for what you've been able to dig up, so the ship just arrived a few days ago, but you did a little digging and you were able to find a little bit more information. The ship was owned by the Hardscrabble Collective, and they were out doing something on an asteroid field out in the drift on their way to Absalom Station from near space. They had captured the asteroid and were towing it back to the station when the crew disappeared. After the ship literally arrived, the crew disappeared, leaving the ship deserted. The station security immediately quarantined the ship and the mysterious asteroid at a safe distance from the station, pending further query. That's a little bit of extra information that you can dig up on this ship.
So this is after a meeting with Jabaska. Are we back at the hotel now? Or are we?
Oh, you haven't met with Jabaska. You had met with the little Yusoki. What was her name?
Patton.
Chen or whatever.
Patton.
Oh,
Yusoki is the other Yusoki is the leader of the 21 Street gang or whatever they're called.
Yep, Patton.
The level 21 crew.
21 Jump Street.
That's why I was literally, my brain is like going to that place. All right, so you had rolled, Lysander, you had rolled for the Hardscrabble Collective. What was the other one you wanted to investigate?
Well, I was looking for some connection between them and the level 21 crew, so I guess I can do a search just on the level 21 crew.
Yeah, go ahead and do a
search. See
what
kind of news they've made recently.
Yeah. What is your bonus? Yeah, nothing more than what you learned from Patton. Oh, okay. I closed the wrong window down.
It is interesting, though, that Hardscrabble Collective claims ownership of the derelict, yet Astral Extractions is somehow exerting some influence in claiming rights over it as well.
Yeah,
must be a salvage thing, perhaps.
Why don't you roll a DC check against the roll a computers check for information about the Astral Extractions? 21.
Pretty good roll. Well, just who are they and what do they normally do? I'm guessing they're some type of salvage corp.
So they've got a corporate office, it looks like, in Blue Rise Tower here in the Ring. It's one of the most expensive pieces of real estate in Absalom Station.
I definitely would like to go and visit there.
Mm-hmm.
Topside is
they appear
a great
to be
place to...
Yeah, they appear to be a powerful mining conglomerate with business ties throughout the Pact Worlds. Mm-hmm. Most of the company's operations are centered in the Diaspora and the rocky moons of the outer planets, but it's also begun sending scouting vessels into the vast in search of new claims. The company recently hired one of the Hardscrabble Collective ships, the Acreon, for one of these exploratory missions. So that's a little bit of extra juicy information we've just got.
Hence the reasons why they're at odds over who owns what.
It's a claim. What's who owns what? Because They do have a public face as an ethical and respectable corporation, but after you do some digging, like all corporations, there are mentions of them using corporate mercenaries, strikebreakers, and even perhaps some criminal elements as proxies to intimidate and threaten those who stand in their way.
This is my shocked face.
Corporate greed, never.
It says here they issue urine bottles to all of their employees as a standard matter of doing business.
All for the
Um,
grab.
Roll another skill here. If Patton had been here, if you had made the roll with Patton, I might give you this piece of information. But let's see if let's do another computer check here. There's
Another computer check.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
another juicy bit of you need a 20 or better to unlock this next tidbit.
Not happening.
No, so that's all you've been able to find out on Astral Extraction. So you've got a location for their offices, and you have a little bit of information about who they are. They don't appear to necessarily be a bad company on the face, but they do have a reputation for using their money to hire out muscle and stuff as needed. Meanwhile, you couldn't really find anything about the Hardscrabble Collective. They don't even have an office on the station. So that's interesting.
But they do have a ship. Well, close to the station. The derelict, Acreon.
Well, technically, what I'm reading here is that the Hardscrabble Collective is actually the owner of the Acreon. Let me
Right.
go back over and read that.
Yeah. They don't have an address here on the station that we can find. But
No.
what we do know that they supposedly owned anyway was the Acreon, which is parked
Correct.
outside off the station somewhere. Yeah.
So you got a little information about the Downside Kings, a little less information about the Level 21 crew. It appears that the Downside Kings are the far more dangerous of the two groups. Level 21 crew appears to be sort of like your Robin Hood type characters. I would looks like, it sounds to me like they could do bad things, but they also defend the downtrodden in their neighborhoods. So
they're also the ones that we actually opened fire on and helped kill. So
shh, no one needs to know that. Oops.
They kind of shot at us, so they kind of get shot back.
Oops.
Yeah.
All right, I'm reading.
I think a good first place to go, you guys, if you'd like my opinion, is the offices of Astral Extractions. They're up here on the top side, and it seems altogether less hazardous than venturing, downside into the territory of the Kings or the Level 21 crew, at least to start.
One thing to consider as well, because you still have the you still have Dervo Creel's computer pad, right?
Yes, I do.
Roll a computer check against that, please.
Right. Grab the wrong thing.
We could also talk to the station security, see what they found out.
Is anybody else good at computers? Let's have Chin and Maverick roll.
I am not good at computers, but maybe I'll get lucky.
This is one instance where I do want to see if you guys, because this
If
is
we're just taking time to research this, can we like take 20?
like take 20 minutes in the game to get a better roll, is what you're getting at?
Right. Like there's the take 10 and the take 20 rule where like if you're gonna spend some time like researching it, you can assume that you're gonna get a 20 because you're gonna sit that down for a few
Okay.
hours
No,
to
that's a
do
fair
something.
point. I hadn't even considered that. So why don't we go ahead and consider that as actually happen right now? Because you did roll a 19, so we'll give it to you that you rolled a 20 here. So you guys, because it's not public information, this is actually Derval Creel's personal computer that you're hacking into. You can find a little bit more information. Maybe this will help you or not. It looks like most of his work with the Starfinder Society was focused on mineral prospecting. He was a native of the Diaspora, which is the asteroid belt that they were mining in. Was known to have ties to dwarves and other mining groups in the region. It says he was an outspoken champion of miners' rights, and he was active in challenging the corporate interests that exploited individual miners and laborers, including astral excavations. So he was active in protesting against them. It says here he had personally invested money in the Hardscrabble Collective. This is something you're going to find in the files deep down in his personal computer. So he's personally invested money in the Hardscrabble Collective, and in addition, one of his cousins was a member of the group, but died in a mining accident, the result of safety violations perpetrated by her contractor employer, Astral Extractions. So he's got a bone to grind, a bone to pick with Astral Extractions because they killed his cousin due to safety violations.
As a matter of intuition, I'm starting to think that perhaps the first shot of that unfortunate crossfire wasn't accidental.
It might not have been. It might not have been accidental at all. Yeah, that's a good point. Very fair point.
It's easy just to remove him in the middle of a gunfight.
Oops.
Oops. Yeah. And we were using disposable foot soldiers to do it, so yeah.
All right. I actually think that I know we could go on for 3 hours, but I'm thinking this is actually a pretty decent stopping point, considering that we had some technical difficulties pre-show, and I kind of want to check with you guys post-show to see if I can figure some more stuff out before we all disappear for the night. And this is a good point for us to actually wrap up the adventure because we're in a pre-investigation mode, and we kind of have a good idea of where we need to go from here into looking at the various places and traveling to those locations next session. For those of you watching, I would say to those of you who hung out with us tonight live, thank you so very much. Apologies again, at the very beginning we had a little bit of a hiccup. I still don't know what that was. I'm going to try to sort that out after the show with these guys. And if not, we'll figure it out before next session. I will spend some time and sort it out because we've played beforehand and never had issues. We're going to try to do this every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, from like 7 to 9, 7 to 10, depending on how everybody feels, and going from there. I don't think you guys can see it on your end. You could see it if you tuned into the stream and were like watching the stream, but there's really not a lot of private information because we're all treating this as role play anyway. So even if you were to see something on the DM screen through the stream, it'd just be like, technically your character doesn't know that, so piss off.
It's tiny on my side.
Right, it's that tiny little box there anyway. So
just monitoring for like our faces showing up and stuff in case I needed to, slip you a PM.
Sure.
Private message to let you know something's going on haywire, but it sounds like everybody's looking at it too. So
exactly. So we're gonna try to do this live every Wednesday night from 7 p.m. to like 9 or 10. So if you like that kind of stuff, make sure to tune in during those sessions. If we have a hiccup, because I do live in the boonies and I occasionally have power outages and internet outages, if those happen, we may end up doing an offline recording, which we will then air on the Wednesday night session, but it just is going to depend on the case-by-case basis. But hopefully we'll be able to be here live on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central every week. So make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Thanks to those of you who are supporting the channel. If you want to support this, you can join as a member of the channel here. There's super chats and super stickers and all those good things. There's a Discord channel, and etc. And we're all still learning Starfinder, so thanks to those of you who have been sending links and information and everything else. I'm fairly familiar with Fantasy Grounds, but we're learning new things about Fantasy Grounds each session because this is a little different than the D&D stuff. So thanks to everybody who's just been patient with us as we learn, because we're kind of doing this in the open of being like, we're not experts, but we're having fun. And also shout out to Paizo because they provided me with this. They got this up on their website, the overlay, which is great because I didn't have to do I didn't have to do a lot of work for the overlay. I just was, plugged in some names and plugged in the artwork for Incident at Absalom Station and stuff. So that's really cool. And of course, we're playing officially. We are using one of the official modules, the Incident at Absalom Station module from Fantasy Grounds. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form, but I would say that if you like the module that you saw tonight, and like the way they do the maps, and everything else, check it out. You can get the Starfinder core rules as well as any of the module packs that you want to, and it's all set up for you so that you don't have to do any setups. And of course, thanks to Chen, Maverick, and Lysander for being here with us tonight. They have other names in Discord, so you can go sneak around and figure out who they are. Same time, same place next week, everybody. Until then, thanks so much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time.